Welcome, guys, back to another What's Happening in the Forex Market series. And of course, we are here to talk about the market. What else can we talk about? Yes, so as we are going to be talking about the market, we always say the first thing to do is to check the calendar, right, before you cross over to your charts. And of course, as usual, we're going to be discussing everything that has to do with the dollar from the major currency pairs, where we have like the Australian USD, we have the gold XAU USD, we have the cable, we have the fiber, and a whole lot of instruments out there, right? But we tend to focus on a few. Less is more in this kind of situation. And of course, the earlier you realize that less is more, of course, the faster you will see improvements in what you do. So let's dive back into the calendar. Right, we're going to check the calendar, what we have for today. Today is the 18th of January. As a quick disclaimer, guys, please note that the information that we're sharing with you is strictly for educational purposes. If you tend to place trades based on what we discuss and your risk management or trade management and so on is not up to par, and you have losses while we have winners, but then you say that we took the same trade, it will be on you, right? Because trade management is even more important than placing a trade. Okay, now with that said, today is what? Today is January the 18th, which is Thursday, and we had news that came out already 1:30 a.m. West African time, and that was for the Australian dollar. That's unemployment rate. And then we have the big one for the US dollar, right? By 2:30 p.m. West African time, and that's unemployment claims. So that's why we don't have any actual over here for 2:30 p.m. But then when the news breaks, you could either refresh this or you will see it appear here. So this is fundamentals. Fundamentals is always very key, very important for us to, it's, how will I put it? It's for us to be aware of. I know traders today that don't use fundamentals. They don't pay attention to fundamentals. They're strictly technicals. Well, quite all right. I can see the argument because the truth now is that I have also noticed that in the price is going to, act according to, the levels like support, resistance, supply, demand, and the rest. This news that we're looking at is more or less like a catalyst. It just makes that reaction, much faster. And then it's something that the news is where traders will get shaken off, right? Those that their hands are not that strong, they don't know what's going on, they can easily get confused and so on. So you just need to understand this news and then make it work for you one way or the other, and that's the truth. So I would advise check the calendar no matter what. Some others might say no need for the forex factory, no need for fundamentals and so on, whatever, right? So here I can tell you this is the USD. You can see that we have news coming out, the unemployment claims for USD by 2:30 p.m. West African time. But what I can tell you on these technicals, even without knowing that there is news coming out, is number one, is a very strong trend to the upside. And then number two, we have some levels that price needs to get back to. I'm saying need and not want. There's a deeper, what's the word? There's a deeper sense to that word need compared to want. So price needs to get back there. Why does price need to get back to some certain levels? It's because of the law of attraction. And what attracts price is orders, where people set pending orders, whether they want to enter or pending orders or even exit pending orders. Exit pending orders are what we call like the stop loss and take profit. You are exiting. There's a pending order waiting somewhere, and then when it triggers, you are exiting. So we have the entry pending orders and then the exit pending orders, right? So we have pending orders, like as an example here that are marked out as, you know, former resistance. It seems like we are beginning to be like a broken record, as we've been saying this all week. Well, trading is boring. It's repetition at the end of the day. But then, as long as you're making money, the boring is good, right? So we talked about all these levels, and then we talked about this rising flag pattern that we had here. If you remember earlier, we're somewhere around here, but then it pushed higher one more time, trying to tease what? Trying to tease the sellers. What some sellers normally do, they could do a form of martingale, enter here, set another couple of positions above, and then they might probably have like 3 positions in. And of course, they're now in profit because that aspect of need, price needs to get to this area here of support. Because if the market is going to continue to push higher, it needs a launching pad. And those launching pads are the ones that we have as support over here, support over here. You can see price is more or less, pulling back to this area. Now, if you had this knowledge with you, right, with respect to the USD index, the DXY, even before any news comes out, because who knows, the news can come out and then it flies back up. But if you had this kind of information on you based on the technicals, then what can you do? You can use this to place a trade on like USD JPY. We placed or we posted this chart without any entry on a couple of places talking about USD JPY, the strong up move. Anything here would probably be for the counter trend traders, those that are trying to go against the trend. This is a massive key level here, another massive key level here. You can see untested, 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 meaning that all these places are resistant, but yet to be tested as support, right? So there's a strong attraction to this area. And we're able to get a sell position here at the top, which is more or less a CT trade, counter trend trade. But this particular one, it had a lot of things going for it, just like the DXY that we just looked at. It had a lot of things going for it, the rising wedge, divergence, price action, and so on. And then for me, it was more or less like a no-brainer. You can always do what? You can always take the risk. Trading is all about risk at the end of the day. So you take the risk, make sure you're not risking the whole account balance, you're not risking a house, and then you are good to go. So you took a risk and we're in here. We're even looking forward to like another possible entry. Because if you ask me, I'll just show you something. You might not probably see it yet, but I'll just show you the build up. Here, you can call this the left shoulder, and then this the head. So who knows? Now that price has pulled all the way back here, who knows? It might come down a bit some more, and then come back here, and then give us the right shoulder, right? Please, guys, do not be afraid of me if that should happen. I'm just conducting my own analysis because at times it happens and the people get scared at how did I know? It's all analysis. Analysis basically is what you can see on the chart on, you know, in front of you, and they are more or less making predictions. Another one is that from where it is, you could just push up and then take out my stop loss over here. And then, of course, I don't have any profits. But because of that attraction, the law of attraction, based on where the orders are, entry orders and exit orders, pending orders, the likes of maybe you want to do a buy limit here or whatever the case might be, that's a pending order to enter, or you have one kind of take profit here, you're selling like myself. Let me just drag this down. Like myself, I'll probably have my take profit somewhere here, which is about 210 or 220 pips in profit if it gets there. Then I have my own take profit here, which happens to be the exit what? The exit pending order. You can see that we have a lot of orders here, and then price should be attracted to it, right? And of course, this is a no-brainer because this is actually easy on the eyes. And of course, if you put Fibonacci, you might probably see this might be like maybe 23.6 or 38.2 Fib retracement or something or whatever. But then with that said, let's just talk about one more. Yeah, probably one more, and then I would round up because I don't like taking much of your time. I just more or less, you can say I'm using this now as a way of journaling my trades, my thoughts in the business. So at any point in time, a year from now, 2 years or whatever, I can always go back and see my consistency and then also see things like how did I approach this trade at that point in time. So you could also, benefit from this as well. So let's look at one more, probably gold. Gold. Gold, yeah. I actually wanted to look at the pounds cable. Well, let's look at gold. Now, gold, we had this flying down. Remember, we're able to get a sell somewhere here. We take profit here, and then it bounced up a bit and then pulled back. At the pullback, this here should, which is formal support, support should now act as resistance. But then somebody has to take the price up, right? That means that the buyers are, and if you can see very well, we have an entry here to buy, and then here should be where we might probably take a profit, which is not that much. But on the flip side, because of what I've seen on the dollar, the DXY, I am expecting something like this in this manner, where it might break out of this area. It may react to it a bit, who knows, but break out and then use this as the launching pad to push, for a stronger bullish move, probably back to this area here that is, notorious for as a flip zone, support, resistance, resistance, and so on. So I'm going to stop over here. We try as much as possible not to make our videos too lengthy. Don't forget, in summary, always ensure that let me clean this up. Always ensure that you check the calendar, right? Which is what we did earlier. Check the calendar over here before you talk about your instruments, and that is your currency pairs, gold, Euro USD. Yeah, we go on Euro USD. I don't think we talked about that, but we had a few trades, or we have a few trades that are running in profit. This Euro USD, you can easily decide to take your profit over here, or see whether it gets to the top over here, whatever the case might be. Because the news, as we said, could be a catalyst. So as a summary, check the calendar, then come check your charts. Checking your charts, you're going to place a trade. Make sure that your risk management is on point. Make sure risk management is on point. And as we always say, we have on the CSA Forest School, we have our school over here. I'm just going to scroll down. We have a lot of things here. Free webinar. Watch the videos for those that are new or probably struggling. You can open a demo account here. We have weekend Forex classes this weekend, 20th and 21st. So you could click here and then sign up for that. And then we have other things over here as well. The position size calculator, if I click on it, right? We did this for you, right? So that your trading could be better. So put in your account balance, whether your account balance is 1,000, 5,000, or whatever the case might be. I'm just punching numbers, put account balance there. You want to risk 1%. By the time you click here, it automatically does the risk of 1% of this. And then you put your stop loss. Let's say your stop loss is 40 pips. And maybe your trade is gold here. Calculate. It now gives you your position size is 0.64 lots for gold, especially when you're using 40 pips. Don't forget, you must use your stop loss. So here's our own little corner to help everybody out, and just make use of it, and hopefully it helps you to become a better trader. So with that said, I want to say thank you guys. And oh yes, to our channel, subscribe, hit the subscribe button if this video was helpful. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and of course, drop a comment for us. If you have any questions, drop a comment there. Share the video with others that might find this, helpful. This is January the 18th. We just had this series, what's happening in the forex market series, a few days. But then hopefully with consistency, we can do this more or less every day up till the end of the year, and we'll grow together, right? So thank you guys. Signing out now, Tolu for CSA Forex, Common Sense Approach to Forex Trading. Enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.